Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I made a podcast episode. Well, we're going to change it up a bit. So, this podcast is going to be faith based, and I'm calling this podcast Daughters of the King. Okay? And I think it's so cool to do a Christian podcast like this because I've met some incredible women in the past couple of weeks, past year, and I'm hoping that they let me interview them so I can share their stories with you all. So y'all know a little bit about me. I go through breakups, ups and downs, and all that stuff. Well, it turns out that, once again, here we are, another breakup, but I'm taking it a very positive route. So I am diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Okay, and I now realize in this previous relationship that I was just in, I wasn't the problem. For once in my life, I am not the reason we broke up. I might have maybe contributed just a little bit, but I realized I wasn't the issue. And I'm not going to talk about that much because it's not important. What's important is knowing that God still loves me. I'm still his daughter. I am still going to the kingdom of heaven someday. Now, I recently when I went back to church, the last time you saw me, and I had said I wanted to join the worship team. Well, I got to join the worship team, and I've been helping lead worship on Sundays. Not every Sunday, just when I can. I'm hoping that changes very soon, though. And I just feel God's presence when I'm up on that stage, and I love it. And I feel his presence when I'm in the congregation too, but I feel it more when I'm up there. And I don't know if that's just because it's, me and God's time or what. But I also feel his presence when I'm watching The Chosen. I don't know if anybody's ever read or seen the show, but my mom actually got me this book. And it's a little it's a little bit of like a play on, it's a little bit of like a playbook of what the first season is like. Or the first episode, whatever. So that show is an inspiration to me. I love that show, 100%. And I remember talking about the woman at the well the last time. Well, God meets us in the most intimate ways. In the most difficult times, happy times, he can get you anywhere. This time around, I was in a psych ward. I had an anxiety attack during my last breakup. So I ended up going to the psych ward, and I couldn't have my phone. I couldn't have any electronics. And that was hard at first, not having my phone on me. But then I made it into a blessing because I'm in my room one night, and I swear I wasn't hallucinating. I heard the song, God, I Look to You. Just through the air somehow. And I'm telling you, I swear that was God talking to me, and saying, come back to me. Now, we all have our ups and downs as Christians. We all, have our trials and errors. I'm still going through mine. My journey's not done. I'm not finished. But I have a better sense of who I am. And I'm also doing a therapy program right now to help me still learn how to cope and learn how to make healthier choices for myself when I'm upset. Especially now that I have this diagnosis. I always knew I had bipolar disorder, but I never did anything about it. And I was never actually diagnosed with it until now. So I'm still learning all the ropes and whatnot, but it's gotten me thinking. God has a plan for me, and I don't know what that plan might be. I'm hoping to get my personal trainer's license, so I want to go back to school again. I want to be a motivational speaker on domestic violence and sexual assaults and verbal abuse and mental and emotional abuse, because I've lived, maybe not physical abuse, but I've lived some pretty abusive relationships. But I've lived through them. I didn't give up. And I just think that sharing my story might help other young women make better choices when it comes to guys. I know it will for me. But right now, a man is not even on my top priority list. Right now, I'm taking care of myself and my son, and I'm doing what I have to do in order to make my life better. And I'm putting God first. I didn't do that during this relationship. I did for a little bit, and then we kind of backslided a little bit because, we went through a really hard time. And I mean, that's not my story to share, but my portion of that story, it was traumatizing. I won't lie. But I loved him and I lived through it with him because I knew he needed me. But you know what? Relationships come and go. People come and go. It's like Natalie Grant said in her interview with Sadie Robinson. There are seasons in people's lives. And I truly believe this was a season of my life that needed to be unlocked. I needed help, so I went and got it. Anyway, music has always been a huge part of my life, and I've been listening to some pretty heavy stuff recently. Praise You in This Storm is one of the best songs I've ever listened to, along with Creator. And what's another good one I've listened to? The Battle Belongs. Because all those songs talk about giving ourselves up to God. Even God, I look to you to give us wisdom, to give us words when we go to face people that are difficult situations. And I'm not one that asks for forgiveness. I'm not one that apologizes, and I finally did it. Like I said, I contributed a little bit, and I went and I even apologized in that moment. But it still wasn't enough. So I kept apologizing. But then I was thinking, maybe I'm the problem. I'm not. It's called when you walk away from God and you don't do things His way, God makes your life very hard. Because He wants you to learn something from it. So I definitely learned something, that's for sure. But I'm getting a little more comfortable now knowing, okay, I'm going to be okay. I don't need a guy to survive. I've been doing this on my own for how many years? And I'm God's daughter. In the long run, I am His daughter. And God protects his daughters and His sons. He protects all His children from those who are walking evil paths, will bring you down with them. I would never want to bring anybody down with me. That's not my style. That's not who I am. But if I can help lead those to Him, whether it's just a simple invite to church, on the days that I'm singing, whether it's actually going out and talking to people about Him, just little things that you can do to spread God's word. Inviting someone to go see The Chosen season 5 when it comes out. I'm very excited about that. I got hooked on that show, but it's such a good show, and I recommend it for everybody, because you learn something from it. Whether you want to learn something or not, you learn something. And every one of those characters has gone through something that we have gone through in their life, or what we're going through. So it's always relatable somehow. So I just wanted to say that this is going to be a very positive podcast, and I'm very excited to get to reinvent and redo my podcast series, because now I know what I want to do and what I want to talk about on each episode. So today obviously was just a little introduction. Tomorrow we'll talk about, what self-love looks like, self-care, a little recap about what self-love looks like and self-recap was from like the last time we talked, or last time I talked. But this one's gonna be a little more biblical based. So Hope you guys enjoyed this little introductory video to get you an idea of what my story's like now and everything. Subscribe and comment down below if you like it and give us a like. Thanks. Bye.